to pass on to Kamau. Quite an interesting innovation, and who will imagine that we'll be making robot dogs? So, David, I think we have a video. We have a video we can showcase, and then you can tell us why a dog, not anything else. Okay, David, take it over. Tell us what's happening.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm David Lawrence Kamau. I am 19 years of age. I am an alumni of St. Joseph Junior Seminary in Molo and a current student at Thika Technical Training Institute. I am an engineering student and I've been doing robotics for the last 7 years. I started this around 2016-17 there. And what you are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is the field prototype of the robotic body. It's a robotic dog. I know some of you have watched movies, maybe the Attack, Explorative and Logistics, the AXL movie. And this was a simulation by the company, the film company. So they were trying to prophesy the future of robotics. And I needed to make this a reality because Kenya engaged in a war with the deadly Al-Shabaab militants some years ago. Many soldiers lost their lives, and this became a problem to government and governments all over Africa. So I decided, what if we could create machines that will go to the battlefields instead of now sending soldiers? We send robotic dogs that will have the capacity to detect, detonate, and disarm explosives, landmines, and detect illegal weaponry. So I've been making this is the fifth prototype of the robot, and it's going to be weaponized. So its name, it's Android Canis Familiaris. Android is a synonym for a machine, and a robot is a type of machine. Canis Familiaris is the scientific binomial nomenclature of organisms in biology. So it tends to combine the three sciences and computer science. So this is a technology that is the self-coding artificial intelligence technology. It does not require quite a hectic programming. The Android Canis Familiaris, and it is used as a military-grade robotic dog. And it's subtitled as the security breach detector Android Canis Familiaris, which you are seeing there. It has been evolving for the last 7 years. That prototype is the third prototype of the robot, and yes, so welcome to the future.
Good job. Good job, David. I can see people asking, and interest I can see already. Is it here? Are we protected by...
Okay, some say that robots are a multi-million-dollar project, but I tend to change all this because I'm making my robots using very local materials. As you can see, I've been making using cartons, so it's been prototyping for all these years, and I'm glad to say that for the first time in the modern era, we are going to have a robotic dog manufactured from Kenya using the industries that we have here. I am currently an annotations machine learning software engineer. I have rendered my services to a company called Leash AI Labs. It's an artificial intelligence company located in Nakuru 5th and 4th floors of Gibcon House. So here I've been exposed to the data labeling of self-driving cars, the Teslas that we know, and it has enabled me to be able to explore much of robotics that I never thought. And I've been, I wanted to make my robot quite unique because we know there are companies in the United States and the Museum of the Future in Dubai that are making these robotic dogs, the cyber dogs, the Boston Dynamics. So I needed to make my robot quite unique so that we can popularize Kenya throughout the world and tell even the Chinese or even the Wazungus, tell them, hey, we are Africans and we can also make one of the most powerful robotic machines ever seen. So this product is going to be self-programming and coding. So it's going to render a lot of jobs throughout Kenya and Africa. because we need data labelers, and this is something that you're taught within 2 weeks. So we're going to be, it's an innovation that is going to create a company. The company is going to be called ACF Africa Manufacturing. It's a company I've been dreaming of for the last 7 years, and it's coming real because I finally have the robot prototype, which I'm currently working on till today.
I can see you're 19 years old, and you said you started working on this 7 years ago.
Yes.
How is that possible? What gave you the idea, the motivation, and even to look up for the material to know where everything? Because I know we don't teach not many schools learn coding and robotics, especially at 12 years. That's class 7. So, at what point did you know that you have a thing for machines, for artificial intelligence, and that you have the ability to make one?
Okay, 7 years ago, I was very young. And at that time, those years, is the time that flat screens were becoming popular and smartphones. We were transitioning from 3G to 4G, now 5G. So at this time, I developed interest in electrical and electronics engineering. And I was curious to even see a video on TV. Usually, I thought that someone is inside the TV. So I became curious and I started to learn circuitry, and I taught myself a bit some things because my idea was we have a hardware, we have a CPU, and the CPU is the brain of the computer. So with the CPU you can do a lot more things that you could ever imagine. So I started to do robotics from scratch. So experimenting with any available resource that I have, using motors, to some point actuators. And basically, it's sort of a talent I have to visualize systems, because it's not the only project I have. I have designed certain transducers and form of futuristic batteries that are going to have long-term lives. So, for example, I've been able to make the Android Canis familiaris. I'm the inventor of that. I'm also the innovator of the David's thermoelectric sphere. It's a form of reverse incandescent bulb to actually have high efficiencies than the higher solar modules that we have currently with the monocrystalline. Their efficiency is about 16 to 20% according to the electrical engineering I've learned for the 2 months I've joined the institute. And within those 2 months I've been able to design a system, David's thermoelectric sphere, which tends to have efficiencies from 30 to 80%. So this is revolutionary because you're going to be able to make power plants in deserts, in arid and semi-arid areas. So we're going to use the current situation of desert-like conditions that we are facing as a country because of drought to actually be manufacturers of electricity. And this is all of this is within the robot. Okay, some say that how can your robot be able to work over long periods of time? This made me to invent another thing that is called Davis vacuum rotary magnetic sphere. It's a form of transducer and battery all at once. This machine will be able, this system, so to say, will be able to power the robot for longer lives because it tends to manufacture electricity and also store in the form of magnetism rather than the old that we know of a battery storing chemical. So mine will be storing in mechanical energy.
My last question for you, David, will be, you're so young and you have so many innovations. So, and we have kids from high school here. What kind of advice can you give them? Secondly, with the many innovations that are coming up, what are you doing to actually protect them? So do you have patents, things of that? I know we'll have a session later on innovations and patents. So what are you doing to make sure that the same companies you mentioned, Boston Dynamics, the solar companies, are not stealing your idea?
Okay, basically the safe coding and programmable artificial intelligence technology is currently not in the market because usually we make robots using maybe Arduino and actuators, and then we put in simple codes in form of programming languages like Java or C++ or C. So we are saying that I have a technology that is going to combine everything, and then it will code itself. So we are going to simplify the content or the complexity of coding. So I'm still in the patenting procedures. This robot, I've been able to expose it to come from my local village in Nakuru City County. So I've been able to present it, but all of my presentations in national and international medias and magazines, I don't usually go to the critics of how I make my robot. And I still am very careful on the patent because I cannot really put everything in the patent, because this is matters of national security and international security. Because you're saying it tends to be like a human being, so to say, with a brain that is going to work more than 1,000 times. It can detect bombs. So this is something that even can be used for, people may argue that it can be used for the bad. But this is not possible because this robot does not have a freedom of choice. It's not like human beings. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I think, guys, did you understand? At one point, I could just hear the words and I'm like, wow, this is Kenya. Thank you, David. Keep up with the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.